So Kurt, thanks for coming down and joining us here at TAG.
Thanks for having me, Nick. Always good to come down and see you guys. I work in your office. It looks great in here.
Yeah, I mean, you're right next door, so
Yeah, it's
so an easy pop-in is
always easy to come in. We probably should come over more often.
Yeah. Well, we're as we grow this relationship and as we do more business, that certainly will happen. You know, we will even be meeting clients down here and doing business in person. Which brings us to, tell us a little bit about how the process has been and, what you guys do and how we're working together.
Well, it's definitely very exciting as we kind of reinvigorate this relationship between TAG and Echelon. What we're finding right now is that it's a seamless transition where our representatives, which we have quite a few across the country, they get a lead, and a lot of them, alternative financing, cash advances, SBA loans, things like that. It's kind of a foreign language to them, right? It's not their bread and butter, what they do every day. They do merchant services. They do bank card acquisitions. So when they get these things and they're high commissions and they help them retain their merchants for a longer period of time, there can be confusion and trepidation, right? What TAG has provided a seamless kind of way of getting those leads, those application into you guys through Echelon, through our portal, and making them a success rate so much higher, so much better than what they've seen on their own, that I've seen in the past when our representatives sold without the assistance of TAG, right? So leaning on your guys' expertise has become so much more valuable to them in terms of higher commissions, in terms of merchants staying with them for 2, 3, 4 additional more years than we average see. So it's been a big value add. And in merchant servicing, where, everybody makes their money off residuals, things like that for bank card acquisitions. Anything you can add for a value add sell can be a game changer. And something like this, where the commissions can be so high for the representatives, it's, of course, very appealing.
And we talk all the time about how, in addition to the reps making commissions on these types of deals, it's also the stickiness of the client. As you said, I mean, instead of having a merchant's lifespan be 3, 4, 5 years, we notice by having the relationship and having access to capital that we're able to provide for your reps and their merchants, it starts to get into the 7, 8, 9 year range.
Absolutely. Echelon's whole thing has really become protecting your portfolio, right? And building your business your own way. And, if you're going to put the effort into obtain a merchant's business, you don't want to lose that merchant's business, right? You want to continue to collect residuals from merchant processing. You want to add whatever gift and loyalty that you have that may be on that side of the business. But cash advances, evidently, I mean, we see the statistics. They make our merchants stay with us longer. They renew for more cash advances down the line, usually within 18 months. I think the number is between 80 and 85% of them do renew.
Retention.
Yeah, 85% retention, and a certain percentage of them also renewing. So if they've taken one advance 18 months, 24 months down the line, they're taking another advance, right? It helps their business grow. It helps your portfolio grow. It helps your residuals grow.
Yeah, and in addition to that, it's having access to other types of capital for business acquisition. If they want to buy a competitor or they want to grow and they need working capital, you have SBA opportunities.
Yeah, that's a great point. In the past, I think a lot of our reps were just under the impression that, and it may have been correct, that it was just cash advances, right? Tied to their credit card processing. SBA loans, things like that, lines of credit weren't really at the forefront. Now they are. It's not just one option, it's 9 options for funding that they can get, right? You know what I mean? So they have a lot of things in front of them to help their business grow and to help our reps retain them and make additional funds.
Yeah, and what we have seen so far has been the proof in the pudding.
Absolutely.
With some of the success that we've had, and we look forward to introducing some of the other products and having some track record with them as well. But why don't you talk a little bit about some of the success stories that we've had so far?
Well, I can think of one specific merchant who renews like clockwork. Every 12 to 16 months with the TAG group and through us. And again, this is a merchant that has had issues in the past for one reason or another, unrelated to funding. But the cash advance portion keeps their business with that representative, right? Because they're getting the service they need. They're getting the funds to run their capital. So yes, in business, things happen, right? Especially on the merchant processing side. There's lots of hiccups that can happen. But that cash advance, in addition to other value adds, SBAs, whatever, they make that merchant just stay with us, right? And keeping them happy, making their business grow. You have a small restaurant owner, they need $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 to renovate, to open up, as it's a pizza shop, get a new oven, things like that. They're growing their business. They're processing more funds through credit card processing, which again, on the other side of things, increases the residuals for the rep who sold.
Absolutely.
It's just better totals all in all throughout the entire process.
Yeah,
right?
there's great synergy there,
Yeah,
and you know, to your
absolutely.
point, having the process, those hiccups come up, and having the process be so quick and seamless,
Mhm.
having funds in their account within sometimes same day, within
Same day,
24 hours,
24,
very
48
common.
hours. Yes.
Can help those hiccups be smoothed out, and get back to business and making money.
Yeah, through your group, definitely the time to fund, the overall smoothness of the deals has increased exponentially, and that in turn increases our success rate. Again, gets back up to 80-85% number of success in funding the deals. I love to see that number keep growing, keep growing. I think it's going to. We've already seen a lot of success in the last, call it last month or so, since we started to reinvigorate the relationship.
Yep.
We've had quite a few submissions, and I haven't had any complaints so far. Everything seems to be a very, very seamless transition. They get the lead, provide it through us, through our portal, provide it over to you, and
Yep.
within a few hours, moments, they're getting a response. They're knowing whether or not that merchant qualifies. They're getting the different options for that merchant, and it's just a very easy process.
It
That
is.
is enjoyable for everybody almost.
It's easy, and we try and over communicate if possible.
Yes.
So it's all out in the open. There's the merchants are completely aware of what we're looking at, what the possibilities are, the expectations are, the timing of it all.
Mhm.
And we have been putting together best practices for your portal,
Mhm.
which will make it even easier for your reps to be
Yes.
out there and understand what the process is, and the best way to present these options to their merchants prior to even having a conversation.
Yeah, and that portal is a great point. All that information is easily accessible to all our reps through that portal. They have everything from pricing and the marketing flyers to provide to their merchants. And that's only going to continue to grow.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's very exciting. I
Yeah.
mean, because they have all of these things at their fingertips, and this is just the beginning of what we've started, right? So it's only going to continue to grow over the next month, 6 months, a year, 2 years down the line. It's really exciting times.
Yes, it is. It really is, and I appreciate you coming down
Of
and
course,
sharing a little bit of
it's
insight. And
it's
we
always a
know what we
pleasure.
do, and we know we like to think that we're
Mhm.
great at what we do, but it's always nice to hear from
You guys are great at
firsthand
what you
from
do.
you guys, and the feedback. Certainly, we use that to build and foster additional business down the road.
And Nick, I can only tell you, I'm looking forward to more and more of this relationship continuing to grow over the next couple of months and years.
All right.
And again, thank you for having me down
Of
here.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to talk to
Our
you.
pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you.